Hey guys, we are coming up on exam week here in our home, and for those of you who are unfamiliar with exam week, we loosely, a little more closely as the years go on, follow a Charlotte Mason ideology in our home and our home education and just our family life. And one of the components of that is exam weeks, and we love our exam weeks, if you guys would believe it. I don't do tests in our house. We've never done pressure in this house, quizzes or anything like that, but exams are a family celebration, and it is something that my husband, my parents, John's parents, my kids, everyone really looks forward to experiencing together. So today I am going to take you along over the course of an evening or two as I prepare for our exam week. And I'm also going to give you a simple little breakdown of how we do exams for those of you who are interested. So if you are interested in hearing more about this and you want to see how I plan and prepare for an exam week, then stick around. Today's video is in partnership with Writings from the Wild. Writings from the Wild is a fun resource that's perfect for any animal lover. Each month you'll receive a handcrafted letter written from a different animal and delivered to your mailbox. We subscribe to this for my son Jesse. He is an animal lover. I can see ahead of time what the letters are going to be, but it's always a surprise for him. I don't tell him what they are. You'll get letters, collector cards, and activity sheets all included to enhance your learning. And this is only $6 a month. So when you subscribe, you'll receive a handcrafted letter printed on quality matte paper, a collector's card, and you'll have access to a downloadable activity sheet. So the collector cards have a hand-painted animal from the letter, and on the back it lists key facts. Jesse actually hangs these up in his room, which I love, and he can look at the trivia facts on the back. You can play games with them if you collect them over time, and you can also use them if you want to expand on these letters and do a unit study. They offer shipping worldwide because all it costs is the cost of a stamp. And some of the past letters that we've received are the bearded dragon, a spider monkey, a hammerhead shark, a lion, a sea otter, and a hummingbird. They also have a dino bundle, which includes 6 letters from 6 different dinosaurs and 6 collector's cards. They are offering 15% off for my subscribers off of 6 or 12-month subscriptions now through October 15th using code RootedInRest15. We absolutely love the subscription so much, and I think it would make a really great Christmas gift as well. So just a little heads up if you guys are thinking ahead like I am. So thank you so much, Writings from the Wild, for sponsoring today's video, and make sure you guys go check them out. So I do not follow a Charlotte Mason method perfectly. I definitely do not execute it perfectly well at all. It is just something that resonates most with my heart when it comes to all of the different methods and ideologies that are out there. So I want to get that out of the way first. If you are looking for a Charlotte Mason purist, or you are wanting exact direction in the Charlotte Mason method, this isn't exactly the correct video, but it's close enough in my book if you are wanting to implement, you know, just an enjoyable experience when it comes to exams. You don't have to be a Charlotte Mason homeschooler to enjoy an exam week. So the things that we do follow according to the Charlotte Mason method when it comes to exams is that we do 3 12-week terms instead of 4 9-week quarters. And so we take 3 exams a year after those 12-week terms. And we also do the exams at the same time as we would normally be doing the subjects during our school week. So it's very low pressure, it's slow, it takes the whole week. It usually takes us about 3 days, really. And it is a celebration of what they know versus tricking them into answering incorrectly so that we can pick out what they don't know. And what I love about that is just that they are so motivated and encouraged by being able to share what they do know that it really propels them and gives them this great momentum into the next term because they are so pleased with themselves. They're so proud of their work. They've rallied the whole little community up around them to share what they know, and it's just a family celebration, like I said. So we take exams in almost every subject. Our morning basket subjects, like our art and our composer and our picture study, we do exams for our handcrafts. We do exams for history, we do exams for science and nature study, but they're all a little different. So for example, with our nature study, I will write, or for most of our exams, to be honest, I will write out 3 questions, and I will put those 3 questions on a clipboard, and I'll give them to each kid. They're all written a little differently, but you'll see when I'm doing the prep. Some things for Isabella, who's my 6th grader, are written with expecting more detail, asking maybe a little bit tougher questions. For my 4th grader, I am asking him to kind of write me like a paragraph. He's just now at the age where I'm asking him to do written narration, not just oral narration. And then for my 1st grader, I will have him orally narrate to me. I will write it for him. And then if he wants to draw a picture, do an illustration on top of that, that's perfectly fine. If he doesn't, that's fine as well. It is a low pressure, encouraging week. So for most of them, I'll give them 3 questions, and I'll ask them to go answer 2 that they know well and want to share. I usually know that there's 1 question that they probably won't remember well. I dig a little deeper into our study and pull 1 question in, and sometimes they surprise me and they actually know the answers to that. That happened the very first time we did exams. I wrote a question that I thought was maybe digging a little deeper back into the earlier in the term, and all 3 of them chose to answer that one, which also blessed me because I was like, oh, they're really retaining this. For some subjects, I will have them display their work. So for handcraft, I can have them do something and share it with somebody who does that you know, well. So if it's a paper craft, say I'm just gonna pick something like crochet. I don't know how to crochet, I couldn't critique something well, but if I had a friend who could and was able to really encourage them as somebody who wasn't just a novice like I would be, then they could both encourage them while also sharing something that they could work on over the next term. So there's a way to kind of bring in your community. For violin, their violin teacher will give them something a couple of weeks ahead of time. And what we used to do when we were part of a small home fellowship church is that we would just have our kids play for the church that week, and that was their exam, although the church didn't know that. It was just the kids being able to share what they know and celebrate it. For poetry, they will each select a poem about 6 weeks into the term, and then they will just memorize that. So there's no 3 questions for poetry and 3 questions for handcraft. There are things that they can do their recitation for John instead of for me. And so what I'm doing this year is we're gonna have a family tea time where they're gonna share all their memory work. So their hymns, if they wanna do their hymn or their folk song, and then their poems, and any other memory work, their Bible verses, anything like that around like a family feast. I just thought it would be fun to share that way. So that's kind of the breakdown of how I do exams. It's not a ton, it's very simple. I sit down about 2 evenings the week prior and I'll write out their questions, and it takes me a little bit to go back through. I wanna make sure that I'm not just asking them things that I remember because it's easy, like, oh, I remember this project, so I'll ask them a question about that. I wanna make sure that I'm giving them some evenly spaced questions over the course of the 12 weeks and things that I know they all really enjoyed about the term and probably made a connection with, and then maybe some things that they didn't connect with that I think, but they can either surprise me or it can jog their memory and they may want to go back in their own time and look back through it or just not answer. So that is kind of the breakdown of how I do exams. And now for the rest of the video, I'm just gonna take you along casually in my house, probably poor lighting, and just show you how I prepare their exams. Maybe I will show you 1 day's worth of exams that we will be doing. So, all right. Come along. All right, so I am sitting down to do the first batch of exams. Now, I don't actually write exams for every single subject, only the ones that I can confidently say we completed and I feel like they can give complete answers. I don't want the experience to be negative. So if I don't feel like, for example, this term, I don't feel like we did geography very well, so I'm not writing a geography exam. I'm not gonna have them do a map drill or anything. And what I love about exam week is it's not only good for the kids to celebrate what they know, but it also helps me kind of gauge where we're at. So I'm gonna sit down and write this first batch of exams, and I'll kind of walk you through my plan here. So I'm going to choose 3 prompts for each subject. And sorry, excuse the noise in the other room. John's taking care of it for me tonight. But I'm gonna write 3 prompts, similar prompts for each kid, just kind of toned down as far as my expectation for each, which you'll see when I share a little more. I'm gonna do history. I'm gonna maybe write some government stuff depending on how I feel we did in these books right now, or I might just flip through the back. They have their questions in the back, and I might just kind of copy their questions. And then I'm going to work on our picture study. I'm going to choose an article for each of them to do a current events narration for me. Now, this isn't something I expect them to be memorized. I'm just going to take the article and have them prepare a current event narration how we always do. So it'll be a new to them article, but it's just a way to practice formally sharing an article with me. I'm gonna do nature and science probably together. We did much more nature than science this term, so it might end up all being nature because we did a lot of nature. And then I'm going to choose a passage. Ooh. Oh, it's a mess here tonight, but I told you it wouldn't be the most peaceful sound when I'm doing this at night. This is what it really sounds like when I'm doing school. But I'm going to choose my brain is broken. I'm going to choose a passage from some of their read alouds. I just picked one read aloud for each of them. One assigned reader for each of them, and I'm going to choose a passage for them to read to me, and I'm just going to listen to the way that they're reading, and just simple, nothing formal. I don't give them negative feedback. It's more about celebrating what they're doing well, and then I personally will know what to work on the next term, but I don't give them negative feedback, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna sit down and start working on some of these, and I'll just walk you along the process, read you some of the questions, and then I'll show you what I do when I have the exam questions. So here's a good example of what my questions look like for each kid. So for science and nature, for Bella, the 3 prompts that she has are tell me about the Perseid meteor shower, constellations, or the atmosphere, and she knows that I require at least 5 sentences for each answer. If I've never visited a pond, what would you tell me to expect upon visiting? And name 3 types of invertebrates and 1 example of each. So those are her 3 prompts. She chooses the 2 she wants to respond to. For Jessie, same themes, same topics, just a different question. So for Jessie, what should I look for in the summer night sky? Tell about what living things I may find in a pond. And then I have mix and match invertebrates. So I'm either going to do pictures or use, I actually have them right here. I can show you. We used these for some of our nature study that week, so I might put those down and just make a chart and have him put them on the chart. For Eli, his is oral, and I write his answers, and then he has the option to illustrate if he wants to. So his is, can you name any of the constellations? Draw a picture of 3 things I may see in a pond, or draw a mini beast that I may find upon a walk in Florida. So those are their questions for nature. I'm gonna go type some of these out and put them on their boards, and I'll show you what some of the other subjects questions are when I do that. All right, so I have their exams all set up for tomorrow. Tomorrow they will be doing science, they will be doing history. Here are some of their history their history questions. Just from youngest to oldest type of questions. And then they'll also be doing their prepared, what's it called? It's like a cold read. Can't remember what it's called. The passage that I prepared for them. They will also be each doing, where is that? Oh, here it is in the back. They each have the same prompt, tell about or recreate your favorite picture by Winslow Homer. And the thing about that is that all of our study pictures are still hanging in our schoolroom. So it's not that they won't see it. Again, it's not to trick them into not remembering things, but I want them to look at the, like they are welcome to look at the pictures. It will just show me what they know. Do they remember that he, you know, that he recreated images from the Civil War? Do they remember why he uses the medium he uses? Things like that will come up when they're sharing. So there's that. And then they will also be doing their handwriting tomorrow, which I didn't explain handwriting, but for their handwriting, I'll just do a dictation and then they will write it down. So it'll just be right out of their books. It won't be anything, it won't even be a surprise. It'll just be doing the next lesson in their books, and it'll just be kind of done more formally. So that is what we have prepped for tomorrow. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments down below and I'd be happy to answer them. I'm also going to link Sonia Schaefer's article, which goes through every single subject and what an exam week should look like in a home. Of course, everybody can put their own spin on it, and this is the way that we do ours. So I hope this was helpful. If you guys want to see a more in-depth exam week video on our next term exams, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.